What do you see? One of our focuses at Screensteps is to make it so that people can create content and update it very, very quickly so that you're able to address those unanticipated needs. What do you see as the impact on L&D practitioners when the tools are no longer a friction point, that they can work very quickly they recognize, hey, here's a touch point we haven't addressed, we can respond immediately.
Yeah, this is so key. When you think about modern learning, that's been one of the barriers is really people choosing tools and having the tools that are easily updatable, that are easily accessible, that make it relevant and keep it relevant. And so when you actually have technology that does all of that almost invisibly for you. It feels invisible to an L&D practitioner. Again, now you're able to spend more of your time focused on the actual design itself, and are you giving these different personas what they need? So I think it's a great to me, the challenge is people letting go and sunsetting technologies or programs or courses that aren't serving them and moving to this new piece. I've noticed that in the L&D industry, we tend to do a lot more adding, and we don't do enough of the letting go and sunsetting. And all that does is creates clutter for our learners and for our business and for us to manage. So I think it's great that the technologies are out there now that are in the cloud that are really thinking about user experience, not just from a a learner perspective, but also from an L&D professional perspective to manage and administrate systems. That's great. Wow. Keep doing that. Take all of that out of our way. And L&D professionals, sunset the systems that aren't serving you. Start really doing that. Partner with your internal change management or your internal IT to make that shift to things that are going to be much easier for you to work with in the future.
No, as you're talking about that conversation that Jay from our team just had the other day with a team that all of a sudden they had analytics on what job aids were being used, right? And that totally changed how they were able to, the L&D department's able to approach their job because they can talk to the people that are using it successfully. They can talk to the people that aren't using it successfully and get additional insights. And so it allows them to be so much more responsive to those different learning needs that are popping up.
And we
Well,
say that with courses and classes too. A lot of people, when they start chunking things out into multiple assets, it remove the class or make the class shorter. Make sure you're upgrading while you are doing this important work, because the whole goal of this is to enable learning, right? And so if you're cluttering things up, you're not enabling learning. You're just creating more for people to have to filter through. And sure, in our personal time, we have these choices on what we want to learn and so on. But at work, people have full-time jobs. Their full-time job is not to find learning or, to work extra hard to actually learn. That's our job, is to make it easy for them to learn. So think about all of those different aspects that feed into that challenge. And it's not just about delivering the right content, it's delivering it the right way. It's delivering it to the personas that it matters to, right? And it's delivering it in a way where you're clear. This is what I want you to do with this, not just what I want you to know. And delivering it in those moments of need, chunking it up, all of these things we've been talking about, keeping it updatable, keeping it fresh and relevant. That's all key. We have to stop looking at our job like it's this, and we have to recognize that technologies are empowering us to shift our capacity to this. It's not just that the business is asking us to do more, more, more. The technologies actually are removing some of the things that drained our capacity in the past. And if we're not acknowledging that and we're not making those smart choices, we're creating this I don't have capacity problem ourselves, really. And that's kind of little harsh, but it's sometimes we humans, we love creating more problems for ourselves. And sometimes you just got to be like, I got to let this go. Okay, clearly this is helping me. Here's where I want to put my attention and time, and that's in modernizing my organization.
Well, and I love what, the emphasis you keep putting on chunking the information. We used to talk to customers, if all of your content is connected with cement, we used to call it, you can't pull it apart. So let's connect it with Velcro. We can pull off a little bit here and we can use it in these different contexts because, from our standpoint, our goal is how can we remove the need for memorization? How can we help them succeed when they forgot? Which is why, as I look at the LCD model, that just resonates so much with me.